Capricorn. Thanks for being here. Today we're talking about the celestial weather as is being influenced in particular by the transit of Venus moving through Scorpio. And, I just remembered, Venus at 23 degrees is creating a sextile to Pluto in Capricorn, your sign. This feels pretty potent for you, perhaps. In the transformation territory, there could be a lot available. But what Venus in Scorpio was coming through for me was really about vulnerability, authenticity with regard to sexual intimacy. And that is what inspired all of these readings. And I recorded another video, the first of the videos that I posted this week. It's in the YouTube playlist, and it's also on IGTV on Instagram, the first video from this week. So check that out. I go into more detail about why I'm talking about this and more about ideas like sacred consent, clear, wholehearted, enthusiastic consent, or nothing at all, right? So if it's a sacred yes, great, and we move forward together. If it's a no, then we stop. Obviously, that's how it works, right? Consent can get tricky in partnered relationships, especially if the language and the concept wasn't a part of your partnership to begin with and hasn't been. So if it's a new concept, it might be challenging to deal with. But the reason why we're dealing with it is so that we can really get into experiencing authentic pleasure and true connection in sexual intimacy. If you're interested in beginning a consent practice with your partner, but you've never done it before, one way to try it out is with yourself first. And it may sound really silly because, of course, if you're touching yourself, you have permission to do it. But if you were raised in a household where there was a lot of judgment and shaming around naked bodies and sexuality and pleasure, and or for all of these, then you may have some layers that you need to release, some layers of conditioning and shaming that have been affecting you. This is in particular for some folks who have been having trouble achieving orgasm, and it's not even just orgasm. It's like I can't get no satisfaction, that kind of thing. So if you're in this realm, if this applies to you, try this out. Getting consent from yourself to touch yourself. Getting consent from yourself to take it then to the next level, whatever that may be in your self-touch experience. But let's get to what I jotted down for you. Use your feelings as a compass for decision making. Using your feelings as a compass for decision making in terms of what is the right thing to do for transformation, expansion, reform. By Thursday, your feelings may heighten tension, inflammation, diplomacy versus raw passion, power, and existence itself. Let's pause there for a second. Tension, inflammation, diplomacy versus raw passion, power, and existence itself. So sometimes the very presence of something, let's say your pimple. Let's say you have a pimple. I do. Right there. The pimple's existence is annoying me, right? And this is Aries and Libra themes that are being picked up on here because of the square that's being made to multiple planets in your sign by the moon on Wednesday and Thursday moving through Libra, being in opposition to Aries that has Mars in it, okay? So Aries needs to express itself and may express itself by just existing in a little inflammatory blemish on the skin. And Libra, in opposition to that, is annoyed by its very existence because it wants it all to look good It wants harmony. It wants all this stuff. This is Grayson. Grayson, we're talking to Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Risings right now.
Oh, cool.
In this tennis match between...
So that sexual weird stuff?
We are talking about sexual intimacy.
Okay, so if you haven't seen the other videos, go find them.
Which one? Oh, okay.
And subscribe and like.
Thank you, Grayson. What a good helper. Okay, the tennis match between Aries and Libra. And Libra actually can do this by itself, with itself, or with another Libra as well, or really with anyone who will engage in the conversation. That's neither here nor there. This kind of going back and forth can be neutralized through acceptance. Accepting the pimple and accepting that Libra doesn't like it that the pimple exists. Nothing to see here, folks, right? It's all over. It's not interesting anymore. Also could be that some of the work that you have to do as it relates to cooperating with other people, it almost has like a political feeling to it, or like the way that you have to engage with a certain group or something could be getting in the way of a passionate embrace with your lover. Like you would want to have some fun with that lover and that passionate embrace, but you can't because you have to do the PTA meeting or the board of something. I don't know what you're up to, okay? I don't know what you're doing, but it feels like you may have something that you agreed to do that you consider an obligation, and you're gonna do it. And you should. You should definitely, because if you signed up for it, go ahead, do what you said you were going to do, and understand that sometimes these things really are at odds with each other. And then, you know, try out that self-touch practice with consent, and schedule your passionate embrace with your lover for another time. What else did I write down for y'all? Ooh, so let the tension break you open. Let it release you from some of your own walls. Phoenix rising. Meet yourself or your beloved in this space of no filter. No pretense, no protective shield, just pure connection. That actually sounds really good. I think you should do that. I think actually that should be one of the obligations, right? You are obligated to meet yourself or your beloved in a space of no filter, no pretense, no protective shield, just pure connection and consent. Scorpio, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius. Who else could also be? I'm also wondering about a Taurus. Okay, love you, bye.